back to Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. It's lovely to have you here. Hope you're all doing well and I hope you're all having a good weekend. Well, we've got a wet day today. We've got a snow day today. It's been snowing all morning and all night last night. But it seems to have warmed up a bit now and it seems to be melting. So it's stopped now and I'm looking forward to taking Stripe out for a walk, just to say. Yeah, so today we're having a bit of a cosy in the cottage, getting warm type day. Put the fire on. We've been out in the woodshed and Stripes found another rat in there. He didn't actually find the rat itself, but he found where it had been sleeping. And I'm not sure if there was any babies in amongst all the stuff that he found yesterday. But he was there for quite a while, so I just left him to get on with it. I don't want to know what he's doing. As far as I'm concerned, he can do what he likes with them. But as I'm happy that there was no rat bait down in there, so hopefully everything's fine. He's in a bit of a funny mood today because he doesn't like it when everything changes. He went out this morning and he was like, oh, it's been snowing, don't like this, let me back in. So he's been in that kind of mood all day, a bit of a type mood all day, and he's been driving me bonkers. So we're going to have to come to some sort of arrangement for winter, because I'm sure we're going to have many more days when we can't go and do the things that he wants to do. And we're just going to have to make do and get on with things inside. So we've got a soup recipe coming in this video today, an odds and ends soup. So I'll put the footage in of that for you. It's just basic, just whatever's in the cupboard, make do amend, whatever's in the cupboard, war rations type soup, just to keep some of my wartime viewers happy. Sorry I haven't got my headscarf on, but I seem to have lost it, and I've also lost the little headband that goes inside that keeps everything in place. And my hair is that thick, that bushy. If I put one on without the inner headband, it just falls off and it drives me nuts. So yeah, hence no headband today, no wartime look today, but I do have my wartime, dungarees on today. So yeah, so today as well, I'm going to be making Lord Woolton pie. So I'm going to pop that in the next recipe for you. I have done it before and I'll pop a link in the I button up here for you. I did that last winter, I think. I did it on this and I did it with mashed potato. But today I'm going to do it with pastry. I'm going to do a pastry top on it and I think that'll be really nice. So I'm going to do the whole thing in the stove behind me here. I have lit the fire. My soup is cooking on the top, which, as I say, the recipe's coming in this video. And the Woolton pie video will be coming up next when I show you my building project. I'm going to show you the bookcase next and show you what I've been doing with that. And the cupboard in the back bedroom where my new craft room is. I'm also going to show you a nice photograph of my old dog, Sam, and let you see him. Anyway, old Sam is making a comeback because I've been having a sort out under the stairs and I found some pictures I used to have in my craft room in my old house before we moved to Wales. And yeah, I used to have a shed in the back garden where I did all my craft stuff. I had a gas heater in there, electric out there, and I used to go out, switch everything on, go and hide in there and get on with some knitting or spinning or making or whatever I was doing, just pottering really. I didn't have anywhere near the amount of rubbish I've got now. Anyway, I thought I'd come and do a book review for you. I've been buying a couple of new books. I've got 4 altogether. I feel a bit high up here, a bit Alice in Wonderlandy, just a sec. There we go, that's better, isn't it? So yeah, I've been buying some new books. I've got this one, the 1940s look, and it is, as it says on the tin, it's a look back at the 1940s and how people had their hair, how to do different hairstyles. I love this picture here. I think it's very pretty. How to do makeup. It's just different articles from different women's magazines, different hair things. Fashion, jewellery, watches. There's also how to make things in here as well, torches, gas masks, some very fetching hats and things to make yourself look pretty for the war, things about stockings. So yeah, it's a really, really interesting book. How to overhaul a patch on your overalls, how to patch an overall, patchwork coupons, make, do, amend. So there's an awful lot of stuff in here, an awful lot. I've only just started having a look. It was all to do, there's loads of stuff to do with the ration books for clothes as well. Some lovely patterns. I mean, look at that beautiful picture there. Some nice ladies' fashions from the war as well. Some rather dapper looking chap there and some ties. Yeah, so it's a really interesting book. I'm not sure how much I paid for it. I only paid less than £5 for my books because I buy them second-hand online. I mean, look at that beautiful brooch there, all nicely felted, cut out of old jackets and things. Lovely hat, repurposed hat. So yeah, I don't pay a lot. This one is from Sabre Storm Publishing. And yeah, it's a very, very interesting book. If you're looking for books for Christmas to buy for Christmas presents, highly recommend this one. Good book. Should be okay. Just a sec, we're going to check on recording. Yeah. The other one that I have got is this allotment garden guide. Now, this one I'm really excited about. I like this one. I'm interested in the fashions and things like that. But this one I'm really excited about because it is a monthly guide. Excuse me, I'll just take that kettle off. A monthly guide to better wartime gardening, allotment and garden guide. Now, if you're interested in doing a Dig for Victory garden, this book will be ideal. I'm looking to following it next year because, as you know, I tried to do a victory garden this year and we got rats and the rats just decimated everything. I managed to get a few tomatoes, a few runner beans, just a sec. Stripe wants me to play. A few runner beans, bit of salad, but that was about it. They ate a lot. They ate all my potatoes out the bags. They ate potatoes in the soil. They ate the rhubarb. They ate my currants. They ate everything. I got a few apples, I think, that the birds didn't get, but other than that, the rats just played havoc with everything. So yeah, it was just a complete and utter nightmare. But I'm hoping to spend the winter studying this. And then what I'm going to do next year, it says, produced by the Ministry of Agriculture, the allotment and garden guides were issued monthly throughout 1945. They were to be the final rally call in the wartime campaign to Dig for Victory. Concentrating on the productive garden, the guides were designed to take the amateur gardener through basic tasks for each month. Many of the subjects tackled are as relevant now as they were then. How to make a compost heap, how to sow and harvest, which seeds are the easiest to save. However, other topics convey the wartime conditions, seed shortages due to enemy occupation, regulations on flower growing, and the very real prospect of actually running out of food. Twigs Way provides a historic overview of gardening during the Second World War and comments on each of the 12 issues. To read the guides now is to experience a sense of both the urgency of work in wartime garden and the timeless of the seasonal process of gardening. So yeah, I highly recommend this book if you're interested in doing a victory garden. Even if you're just interested in growing things in a window box, it will help you with a month-by-month guide. It's got some beautiful pictures in it, some beautiful write-ups in it as well. Sorry, grow for winter as well as summer. Looking after your tools, looking after your stored crops, fruit trees and bushes, reminders, get your seed catalogue, seed potatoes, some lovely pictures, images there as well. So yeah, women and garden. I love this picture, the Dig for Victory now. Yeah, I just think it's a really, really good book. And it is going to take you through how to sow broad beans, how to sow spinach, how to sow, how to plant shallots. Do you grow rhubarb? Plant Jerusalem artichokes. Now, Gordon loved his Jerusalem artichokes, and I've carried on growing them. They are very tasty. So I'm looking forward to harvesting them this year. It does come in a monthly guide as well, starting in January, and taking you right the way through. Up on page 36 it starts. Before that, it's just a bit of a history of the Digging for Victory garden. Oh, what a pretty poem. In a dreary night of December, to happy, happy tree, thy branches ne'er remember their green felicity. That little poem there. So yeah, it's an interesting book. It does take you through month by month, starting in January, as I say, then you go to February, and it takes you right the way through the leaflet, and March, and then you go through and you've got April. So it takes you right the way through the gardening year, right the way up to December, which is where we are now. So, well, near enough December. So yeah, I thought this was a really interesting book. I think I paid £3.50 for this one. It was supposed to be second hand, but you know, it's a brand new copy. It's a hardback book. It's brilliant. And it's by the same people that have produced this one. Now, I do have Mr. Middleton's Dig for Victory book as well. Just a second, I'll get it. There are quite a lot of wartime gardening books out there. Ones that have been reproduced, just a sec. Ones that have been reproduced, and I've got this one as well, Mr. Middleton. It was a radio broadcast that was done during the war, and it says on the back, these are critical times, but we shall get through them, and the harder we dig for victory, the sooner will the roses be with us, Mr. Middleton. And a wonderful picture on the front. So I've been making my way through this. It's really interesting. It is about a couple who took over a house, who wanted to do their bit for the war, and the things that they grew, the hardships that they came up against. And Mr. Middleton was the neighbour next door to this couple, and it's all describing the things that he taught this couple on how to do things, the mistakes they made along the way. And it's a really, really interesting book. I've also got this as well, which I found of Gordon's, and this is one from the war as well. It was one of the leaflets that they gave out. So I've been making my way through that as well. I have shown you that before on this channel. I did a video about it because I was going to do it as part of the Victory Garden on a planting scheme, but the rats came, and that was that. I think I paid £2.50 for this one as well. Again, supposed to be second hand, brand new book, nothing wrong with it. I get them on eBay. And I've also got this one as well, How to Grow Food, a Wartime Guide. So yeah, this one's by Doreen Wallace, and it's a Batsford book, but it's got loads of interesting stuff in it about how to look after your fruit, how to grow onions. Does the garden need lime? Does it need chalk? Yeah, it's got some really interesting stuff in it. It's got questions and answers in it as well. This is more, I think, from the First World War than the Second World War, looking at the pictures, unless there's some rather Victorian ladies during the war who kept wearing their Victorian dress. How to keep chickens as well, their chicken house. How to hang up your Brussels sprouts to preserve them, keeping a few fowls. So yeah, bulb growing. There's quite a lot in there. So again, that's another good wartime book if you're looking for things for Christmas. I have also bought a couple of Make Do and Mend books, but I'll show you them in the next video, because the next video is going to kind of tie in with that, because I'm going to do some curtains for the house out of some old curtains. So I thought I'd show you that in the next video. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you those new books while we're having an indoors day. Try. Come here, darling. Everything's all changed for him today with the snow, hasn't it, Stripe? So he's a bit restless. I'm going to try and take him out for a walk in a bit, take him for a stick walk. And we're going to see what he thinks of the snow. You got your tongue out, buddy. He might be a bit hungry, so I think I'm going to go and feed him. Lovely little Stripe. This is when we first got him. And this is him out for one of his walks. In the car, waiting. Too big for that harness now. But yeah, he's still got that cheeky little look about him. I mean, look how big his bandana looks on him. Cheeky little blighter. That must have been the first week we had him, because he's still got his house lead on there. And then this is the first time we took him to the beach for doggy ice cream. He was terrified. He sat on my knee, didn't want to get out. Silly little boy. That was Easter. or bank holiday in May. Right, time to get on. So we've had snow overnight and snow all morning, but it looks like the temperature's warmed up a bit now because the snow's starting to melt. We don't get snow for very long here in Wales. When it does snow, it tends to be gone by the same day, sometimes 2 days. But it's looking very pretty. Sun's out up there somewhere. Can you see that blob in the sky up there? That's the sun. But Stripe didn't much like it. He wasn't very keen, so he's gone back to bed. He's very fretful today because everything's all different. It's all white and he's not used to it. Can you see in the distance, in the background there? All the trees in the background are all white like they've got snow on them, like Christmas cakes. So yeah, the sheep are back up here, probably looking for some grass. And it may be a little bit warmer up here than down there, because they're usually down the hill down there. But we've got the fire on. I've got my breakfast on the stove. And today I'm going to have a little cosy day in the cottage. So I'm going to take you along with me. I'm just going to have my porridge and my cup of coffee. The fire's all nice and cosy in there. And yeah, we're just going to have a cosy day in the cottage. Can you see the snow outside the window there? If I zoom you in. Can you see it? No. No, it's too bright. Never mind. I thought you might like to see the snow. Right. So for tea tonight, I've decided to do a freezer meal. I keep things when I do kind of like bologneses and minced things. So I've got this cottage pie mix left. It is frozen. And I thought I'd put the two together and make a big cottage pie and put mashed potato on in the stove. Mix them both together and then put mashed potato on them. And that'll be quite a nice amount for tea. So I'm going to put this in the oven of the stove. It's all heated up to about 250 degrees, so that's going to melt in no time. And then I'll mix it all up, pop mashed potato on, pop a bit of cheese on the top, and then that'll be tea for tonight. And then 2 portions I'll put back in these tubs, and I can have that for my tea when I'm having meals earlier on. So with doing videos, I'm a bit behind today, so this is just going to be what I mix together. I'll add some extra seasoning in, and we'll get this in the oven. So as you can see, my oven's heating up nicely. It says 150 degrees. So I'll pop that in, pop it right at the back of the stove where it's at its hottest, and let that heat up. I need to put some wood in. Let's open the vent. Oh, it's lovely and warm in there. I think I found some oak today. I like to stoke it up with a good amount when I'm cooking so it doesn't go out. Saves me having to stoke it up too much. There we go. We just leave that burning away for a few minutes and then that'll get the oven even hotter. Right, so just leave that for a minute. This is my soup. It's been cooking away nicely. So that's going to be for tomorrow. So getting a head start.
Right, so this is our back bedroom, and this is going to be my new workspace. And that's the view out there, out towards the barn and the lime tree and the rose wall. Now, it's not a very big room, but it's a lot bigger, probably twice the size of the room that's downstairs outside. So, need to paint the ceiling. I've got to wait for my husband to do that, although I might do it myself. And I want to put some insulation paper on this wall and this wall, and then I can put furniture on it. But for the time being, that's just going to have to wait. Now, I'm going to take that sewing table out that's just over there. That's going to come out completely. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I might sell it. I've got the sewing machine that attaches to it. It does work. So I might try selling that on Facebook Marketplace. I might sell that chair as well. This is an old Victorian chair. This one here. Sorry, this one here. Nice Victorian chair. One of my rugs. I do have, just a sec, I'm dropping everything. I've lost my car keys, you know, I can't find them anywhere. Anyway, I've got this bookcase, which I got the other day. Bargain. So, we can't see it in the dark, can you? Let me put the light on. There we are. I got this bookcase, which has got some lovely detailing on the top of it. I don't think it's particularly old, but it is a nice bookcase. So, I'm going to put my fabric in there. And that's going to go on one of the walls. I've got my old dining table there. That's going to go up. I've got my suitcases of fabric out. So they're all going to go. That's all going to go on the shelves. And then for this wall here, I'm thinking of taking that away and putting that back up in the shed up the garden. But I haven't decided yet because it might fit nicely under the table. So I'll decide that in a bit. This is the weaving loom that I made a couple of years ago. I think it might have been last year, for Vlogtober last year, if you're interested in how to make it. As you can see, I still haven't finished weaving the scarf. But yeah, I've got a 1930s kitchen cabinet that belonged to Gordon. And I'm going to put that on this wall here. And I'm hoping that that's going to sort that out. So that's going to be really good. Yeah. And then, I don't know, I want to bring my drum card in. I want to bring my felting stuff in so I can do some wet felting at the table in here. I'm not sure whether to put this in the bedroom for the time being. This is my hand spun yarn cupboards. Don't know whether I've shown you this before. I know I've shown it on my knitting channel. I did this one. This is one of my favourite yarns ever. I did this for Vlogmas. I did Vlogmas year before last, and it's an art yarn that I spun. It jingles. I'm happy. It makes me happy. So yeah, I think I might just put that in the bedroom for now. I have made a wreath out of this yarn. Yeah, so I keep all my hand spun in there. All that bottom shelf is all hand spun yarn. This is some commercial yarn. This is some of that Ewok sheep, that Black Nose Valier sheep. Don't know whether you've seen them. They look like Ewoks out of Star Wars. Black and white, big fluffy things. So I'm going to dye that and make that into a scarf. Yeah, so this is just my happy cupboard. I come and have a look in there. I have a sniff in there, but it needs a new home for the time being. So I'm thinking of popping that in the bedroom for the time being while I sort this room out. I've got a nice chair in here to sit at for doing my spinning. The printer needs to be in here so that can stay there. So yeah, it just generally needs a sort out, and I need to decide what I'm going to bring in here because I don't want to bring everything in here and clutter this room up so it can't be used for anything else. We were thinking of getting a bed settee in here, but I don't know how that's going to work. But I really want to be able to hire the table so I can sit at it and look at the garden. So yeah, I need to think about how I'm going to do that. I might put it on wheels and then I can move it round. And move it round into the middle of the room then, if I want to work at. So yeah, they're my thoughts at the moment. So I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up, sort out what's going on, and then I'll show you it again in a minute. Okay, so this is what we've got in here so far. I've got my cupboard, my lovely cupboard. I really like this cupboard. It needs a good clean with being in the shed down the garden, but it's going to be great. I love the fact that these doors open up. Isn't this lovely? I'd love to have it in my kitchen, but I just don't have the space, and my husband doesn't like it, so that's the end of that one really. But yeah, I've got a metal tray to go in here. It has a cupboard, and it has 3 drawers, so that's going to be really useful, a really useful space. So that's that. I'm going to put my wool cones in here for the knitting machine that I've got that I want to learn to use. And I've got my little oak cabinet. It's either oak or pine, and it's got these little cup hooks on, and it's really nice. Got all my sewing stuff in. I love this little detail around it here. And then I got these little tins the other day in the shop, and they were 50p each. Old biscuit tins. Virginia biscuits, amaretti biscuits, but I just loved the little girls on them. I thought they were really cute. And then I've got this one, which is lemon amaretti. They're not particularly old because they've got barcodes on the bottom, but for 50p I thought they were really nice, and I thought they'd be nice in here with sewing stuff in. I've got my jars to come in. Don't know where I'm going to put them yet, but yeah, it's all coming together nicely. I may put this on the table when I get the table in here and put my jars along there. I think that'll be really nice. And my glass bottle here has got my advent yarn from last year when I was going to do the weaving for the baubles for my Vlogmas. That's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, it's coming together nicely. So I'm just going to go and sort out my breakfast, my cup of tea, my coffee for my breakfast, and then I'm going to get back to it. Excuse me for looking a bit of a mess this morning, but I haven't got myself organised yet. And it's very cold, so I'm back in my big jumper. And excuse the noise, I've got the window open and the chickens are making a raucous racket. But I just thought I'd show you inside one of my suitcases and show you some of the fabrics that I've got to go on my shelves. I've got quite a bit. I've got 1, 2, a bag, 3 and 2 smaller cases of fabric. And there should be another one around somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is. Oh, it's behind here, which has got all my Harris tweed wool in. So yeah, I just thought to show you inside one of the cases and let you see what I've got. Got some lovely fabrics. Yeah, some nice fabrics for the winter, some coat fabric, skirt fabric, linen fabric. Yeah, so we'll just have a little rummage and I'll just show you what I've got. Right, so they're the 2 plastic holdalls I've got of fabric, and I've also got one of wool underneath. I've got another case in the corner there. I've got another bag there which has got linen and wool in, and I've got this lovely case here. Now, I used to work in a fabric and wool shop, and a lot of this I acquired when I was working in the fabric shop. This is linen. This is some lovely John Lewis fabric. Now, I've never known what to do with it. It's 100% cotton. So I'm wondering whether to make a nice pair of curtains for in here with this, because there's not much of it. But I think it would be a really nice bright colour for the room, or maybe even a Roman blind. So yeah, there is a few marks on it, and that's why it was cheap. I didn't realise there was such a big mark on that there. But yeah, it's a lovely fabric, lovely trees. I think it might go with the garden theme. There's not enough for any of the other rooms, but it might make a nice blind for in here. So that's one. I've got this as well. I've got a piece that belongs to my mother-in-law that I was going to make into cushions but never got round to. And this is a nice couple of metres worth of fabric. It's quite expensive. I think it was about £10 a metre, but she very kindly bought it for me. So let's find something to do with that. Some satins. I have got some vintage fabrics as well. This is a stretchy t-shirt type fabric, which is really pretty, which might make something nice for the summer for next year. A nice top maybe with a bit of a ruffle along it, because it looks like it would stretch and make into a ruffle. I've got some voiles which I want to make into bags for my jumpers and my yarns. So that's that. And then underneath here I've got some suede, nice bit of white suede. And then under here is some of my dress fabrics. Nice bit of what's it called? Oh, the stripe, the pin tuck or whatever it's called, stripe. So I don't know what to do with that. Might try doing something for the kitchen with that. But yeah, that was what they used to make pillowcases out of. I think I found that in a charity shop. I've also got some satins that I want to try doing Nuno felting on scarves. So that's that. And then I've got this lovely gingham fabric. This is beautiful. Now, I bought this to make a skirt or a dress and never got round to it. Now, this is one from the shop where I used to work. There's a meter on there. But yeah, I just think it's really pretty with the butterflies. So I think that'd make a lovely dress for next year. Even if that just made the skirt part and then have a plain fabric on the top. Because the wonderful thing was about the war, when they were doing the rice sacks, was they were making them pretty, because a lot of the women were making dresses for their daughters out of the rice sacks. So oftentimes you found some beautiful fabrics that they put the rice in on the ships, and then when the women went and got the rice, they also got the sacks as well, and made some beautiful dresses. But this is gorgeous. I just think that blue butterfly is beautiful. So that's that one. Yeah, oh look, nice bit of Liberty. Nice bit of Liberty print there. Lovely. Another dress or another blouse maybe. I love this one, but I wouldn't have the confidence to wear it. But it might make a nice project bag or something. Got loads of sparkle in it. Nice little butterfly. So yeah, as you can see, I've got some lovely fabrics. I want to get them all out on display so I can see and just go to it like a little shop and think, oh, I'm going to make something with that. I think I got these with in mind of doing some patchwork from what I remember. And they were just offcuts. And yeah, I don't know why I only bought 1/4 of a metre. I can't think why. But maybe I was thinking of patchwork, because I know I was going to make a patchwork quilt. I've got quite a bit of this. This is a lovely fabric. And I was wondering whether to make a nice pair of curtains with this and try and piece it like a patchwork. And make some patchwork curtains for the bedroom. I think that would be lovely. But I've got quite a bit of this print here. It's really, really pretty. It's a bit of a Laura Ashley sort of vibe to it. It's not a Laura Ashley fabric because it's not marked. But yeah, I got this when I was working in the fabric shop, and they had quite a lot of it, and I kept buying some with my wages. It was by weight. So yeah, as you can see, I've got lots of fabrics. I've got some more here, which again I had in mind for doing patchworks because it's already squares, and I was just going to cut them out and just piece them to hand stitch them together and make them into a nice quilt. So I've got that one. And I've got that one, and I've got this one as well, which is also, and they're all nice squares, so I could make it into patchwork squares and stitch them all together and put some plain fabrics in between. I've also got this one, which has got the little love hearts. Now I'd love to make pockets with this for my workwear, so I think that's what I'm going to keep that for, making pockets, because I could roughly cut out a pocket there and pop that on my work clothes. I've also got this, which is beautiful, and I got it before we got the dog. I got it last year, and we decided not to make cushions with it last year and wait until Christmas was out the way, and then we got the dog, and I've been umming and ahhing as to whether to do the cushion for the bench in the kitchen with it, because I've got cushions to make for my chairs as well. And yeah, it's a beautiful fabric. It was made especially for the fabric shop in town, so there isn't any more of it. It was a particular dye lot that was mixed wrongly, and they only got a certain amount of it. So yeah, I got it while I could. It's £12.95 a metre. It was a bit more than what I would like to spend, but it's a really good thick upholstery fabric, and I thought it would make some lovely cushions. So I bought the big long cushion for the bench, the right size of the foam. But then, as I say, we got the dog, and he jumps up all over the bench with his dirty paws, and it is going to have a zip along the back. But look how beautiful that is. Lovely vibrant colours. I've got some wallpaper in mind for that room. But yeah, my husband picked the colour. It's a choice between the denim blue and the teal, and he went for the teal. So yeah, I've got enough there to do that and the cushions on the chairs, as I say. So as you can see, I've got quite a bit. I've got a lot to work my way through, but it's all going to go on this shelf unit here. I might paint it. I quite like it brown, but we'll see. I might do it duck egg blue, and I'm going to clean this up, and I might repaint it in the colours that it's already painted in to tidy it up. And I have had a mouse in here, so I need to be careful of that. Keep an eye on my fabrics. But, I might put some doors on this, make some doors for it. It looks like it had doors originally because it's got the little thing. But yeah. Right, got time for a cup of coffee.
Right, okay, so I think that's it for me for today. I'm going to go and get on. I've got my Lord Walton pie to make for tea. And got to take Stripe out for a walk. I'm eating some homemade biscuits, some homemade oaty biscuits. I'll do them as a recipe. I've got oats, goji berries, cacao nibs, and some flour, and some water, and some milk, and that's it. Oh, coconut sugar and butter. Very nicely or two. Right, so I'm going. Good old Sam has made his debut. Can't think of anything else to show you today. But as I say, I'm going to go and make Lord Walton pie now, so that's going to come up in another video. And I've got a couple more books to show you. And I'm also going to, sorry, I've got biscuits stuck in my teeth now. I'm also going to show you my make, do and mend in sorting out a pair of curtains to make them stretch and fit the windows that I've got upstairs. And at the bottom of the stairs, at the top of the landing and the bottom of the stairs. So we'll do that in the next video. Because I think now we're just going to focus on some house jobs and some make, do and mend jobs and some recipes and get ready for Christmas. Because I'm doing Vlogmas over on my other channel, my Faithful You Knitting podcast channel. So to any of you crafty people out there who like knitting, sewing, spinning, weaving, knitting, anything like that, do click in the link in the description bar below and that'll take you to my other channels. They're listed in the description bar. I've got 3 at the moment. So if you're interested in anything else that I do, then do have a look in those links and pop over to my other channels and see what I get up to over there. So yeah, I think that's it for me for today. My voice is failing with having the flu. My voice is failing and I need to go and get on and get organised and get Stripe out for a walk because my husband will be home soon, just over an hour. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Do pop over to my KOFI account if you'd like to buy me a coffee, Stripe a treat, or the girls a treat. We'd very much appreciate it. It does help to go towards the running costs of this channel so I can go to a cafe and upload my videos a lot quicker. Otherwise it takes 24 to 36 hours for me to upload one video. So if you do want to contribute towards the running cost of this channel, then you can pop over to my KOFI account and the link is also in the description bar below. So enjoy the rest of your week and I will see you in the next video. Take care, enjoy the rest of your week and I will see you soon. Take care, bye for now, bye bye.